Guys, we are back. Episode 2. I'm Trent.
And I'm Nikki.
And this is
The Great Corner.
Guys, we got a doozy for you today. We're kind of stepping into my area, my realm of expertise, if you will. And, shoot, it's going to be a good one. You cool with that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, before we get started, let me just get your baseline real quick.
Mhm.
What's your opinion on aliens? How familiar are you? How familiar are you with the stories, the congressional hearings? What's your baseline?
I know a little bit, not as much as you would, but I don't really have much knowledge, but I will try fighting back.
Well, is it something that interests you?
Absolutely.
What about it interests you? Is it the possibility or what about it?
More of the unknown aspects. So, like, I like the possibilities of it and the not knowing of it. So it's like always up for debate, and I find that really fun to like talk about.
All right. Well, okay. Then, do you know Bob Lazar? Have you ever heard that name before?
I have heard the name.
Let me take you back to May of 1989. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, a man by the name of George Knapp. He was a investigative reporter. He did the story on this guy who, he was you know how they come out in the documentaries and they're like their voices are changed.
Oh, like anonymous.
Yeah, like they're
Yeah.
anonymous. Okay. And this guy claimed to be a whistleblower and said he worked at this laboratory in Nevada, Area 51, a place called S4. Okay. Says a bunch of crazy stuff. And then he's like, man, I'm Bob Lazar. This is me. This is what it is. Bob Lazar, crazy guy, awesome guy, genius actually. So he comes out with this story in May of 1989. But before he even worked for Area 51, right? This guy put a jet engine on his Honda car and would drive it to work. I mean, this guy was a certified genius. He worked at Los Alamos Laboratories, and he was recruited to work for EG&G, which is a contractor. It's like a sub-military contractor, and he went to work in essentially what is known as Area 51, but he said he worked at a separate facility called S4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, his job was basically to examine and reverse engineer alien craft, and he. There's so many documentaries and he's done so many interviews about it. But the interesting thing is that he never says once that he has seen an alien. He only ever talks about seeing crafts. He only ever talks about what he physically touched. Okay. He told stories about how, he was inside of these crafts and they were like 4 feet tall on the inside, obviously not made for someone of human size, and just a bunch of crazy things. But probably the craziest thing that he talked about was element 115. Okay. He said that the likely source of the power and the ability to create its own gravitational force, because that's how he described that these spacecraft move. They tilt on their own axis and they generate this gravitational force around them. That's how they're able to perform these like 90-degree turns in air and all these sporadic movements that they're documented as being seen. But we'll get to that. But element 115, he talked about this in 1989. Okay, and everyone was like, bro, that don't even exist, da 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 da. Element 115 was then discovered in 2003, and it was exactly what Bob Lazar was talking about. They were able to generate it in a physical state for a couple seconds. It wasn't stable enough to like remain, but they discovered element 115 in 2003. And the reason why that right there is the reason why I think he's so credible and such a good person to bring up when any alien topic is discussed, because it's impossible to stay on the exact same lie with no variation for 40 years.
True.
And just to magically be able to lie and then in 2003 your lies come to life, that there's no way. He knew what was going on. And even look at now. Have you heard about any of the congressional hearings?
I've heard a little bit.
David Grush was I believe, Navy pilot, maybe Air Force, but I'm pretty sure Navy. He testified in a congressional hearing under oath, like swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, under oath that the U.S. military has extraterrestrial craft and has recovered extraterrestrial biologics. That's literally confirmation of aliens' existence right there.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Uh, See, I have a different perspective. Like, I 100% believe that life other than humans exist, but my combat argument would be maybe aliens can be demons,
Aliens can be demons?
hypothetically.
How?
Well, there's a lot of different biblical aspects and stuff of that, and I'm not sure if you want to get that into that today. But I'd like that'd be its own episode because I could yap. But but I do think that maybe, just maybe, they're working with these quote unquote aliens, and it's some kind of demonic.
So you think
life
aliens
force.
are demonic?
I do.
What about them is demonic in your opinion? Because I think that they're neither malevolent or benevolent. I think they're just here. And I feel like it's like if we look at ants.
Yeah.
Okay, if we want to step on them, sure, we'll step on them. It's no problem to us. They're so much smaller than us. They're nothing compared to us. But if aliens have been around as long as they say they have, and I mean, I feel like they'd step on us. We're ants to them.
Yeah, but also where biblically does that say similar?
Well, in the Bible, it talks about Satan tempting mankind.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the temptation coming from the aliens if they're supposedly demonic?
Oh no, it's not temptation. It's just
But if they're demonic, so demons would be soldiers of Satan, right?
they'd be Nephilim, so half human, half demon.
But soldiers of Satan. That's
yeah.
this because angels are soldiers of God, so demons would be soldiers of the devil, correct?
Yeah, but you know what it does do? It does actually cause people to not know what to believe because the existence of aliens would defeat the belief in God somewhat.
Not necessarily.
How not?
You know, there was a man, this is like way back in the day, and he actually recently just got pardoned by the Catholic Church.
Mm-hmm.
But they burned him at the stake for saying that the earth was not the center of the universe, that we revolved around the sun. They burned him. And you know what his last words were before he died, they set him on fire? He said, "Your God's too small." I think the existence of aliens just goes to prove how much bigger God is to our feeble minds. If God made us and he made some other stuff that's like way better than us, I'd be like, dude, God's on some shit for real. He made us 2.0 and it's even better.
Yeah, for sure. But also think of it in the aspect of, so actually, as you were talking about, somebody got killed in the Catholic Church as well for saying demons are aliens. And I actually have that written down as well. I have a whole thing on that. So somebody was killed in the Catholic Church because of just that sentence. And they, I don't know if they killed him or they banned him. They did something of that sort. But what was so sensitive about that topic?
You know, the Catholic Church actually sponsors telescopes over the United States. I believe out there in Arizona, they sponsor. And even the Pope has said, if aliens exist, then that doesn't mean they can't be saved by Jesus. So even the Pope acknowledges that aliens could exist.
Oh, 100%.
But not in a demonic type of way, not in a evil sense.
Well, I mean, even if this is my personal belief, now this might be controversial to some people, but I believe that even Satan could be saved.
How?
Well, he never apologized. He never felt anything other than just pure anger. And because he is an angel, I do believe he could too be saved, but his pride is too big, and that's the whole point of it. I think that God's forgiveness is so undying and...
Is Satan not evil incarnate?
No.
He's not.
He's not. I don't believe that. Like, it depends on your perspective.
So are you saying that Satan is just a misunderstood guy? Is that what you're saying right now? Are you in Satan's corner right now?
No. No, but I do believe that he was, I think his ego was too big and he tried to be God and he tried to become what he knew he wasn't. And by doing so, he flew too close to the sun and he ended up screwing himself over in a really bad way. And he still will not accept because would you rather rule in hell or serve in heaven? He prefers to rule in hell, but maybe one day, well, I doubt it because, Revelation was written. But if he ever did come and apologize, and I do believe he can be saved as well because he is an angel.
That's an interesting take. I don't know. I don't even believe in the devil. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that there is this all ultimate evil out there in the world. I feel like human nature is evil,
Oh yeah.
and we act on those impulses, and then we have a scapegoat. We have Satan to blame it on. That to me just sounds like people not taking accountability for their own actions.
Well, I don't believe that yes, Satan pulls into temptation, but it's nothing that you can't fight. So that is human desire in that sense. But I do think that what is it? It's not that Satan does rule. It's not that he has power. All angels have equal power, as stated in the Bible, but it's more of like, all right, so you are now saved if you want to be.
Okay.
So I think that Satan is just being tortured just as much as the humans that go to hell as well. So I don't think he's like, oh, I'm the power of anger and mischief and sin. I don't think it's that, because I personally don't think that God or the devil care if you sin at all. I think it's just how you come across it. And also, last podcast, I believe we were talking about sin and how you don't believe in
I didn't say I don't believe in sin. I might have said that, but that's
it.
I don't think sin is a universal thing, because like in court,
Mhm.
if someone breaks into your house and you shoot them and kill them in self-defense, you committed a carnal sin. Thou
100%.
shalt not murder.
Yeah.
Yet it's justifiable.
Well, that's actually what I was doing a lot of thinking about that, because I'm like, yeah, actually, you're right. So what does it? And then it came to me. So what sin is? Because again, I don't believe they care about sin at all, because we are going to sin. We are imperfect. We're not Jesus.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's more of like, if you intend that, because I remember you said in court last time, you said that if we, so murder is murder, period. There's
Yeah.
no less or more.
Yeah.
I think it's what your heart intentions are.
Mhm.
So I think if you mean to do bad and you mean to kill somebody and you mean evil by it, that's when it's a sin. But I think if you have pure intention and you actually live by the word and understand it and try your best,
Mhm.
I think that's all that matters. Because I don't think Jesus died so that we can live.
Mhm.
And I think that's what the point is.
So you're saying sin is actually self-actualized. If we in our minds believe we sinned, then sin we have.
Yeah, kind of.
So then how can Satan be called the father of sin?
He's not.
He's,
Not biblically.
well, maybe not biblically,
Yeah.
but the see, that's where it gets touch and go for me, because there's so much in the court of Christianity
Mhm.
versus the court of public opinion. You get
Absolutely.
a lot of stuff gets misconstrued. The
100%.
father of all lies,
Yeah.
the the beast, or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. But I don't think Satan is just this big old jacked up
Oh, he's not.
goat looking fella that's like do bad.
Yeah, no, but he's not. And
I don't think it's like God. I don't think God is like a dude with a long beard and a robe.
yeah, he's not.
It's more of like a force.
Mhm.
And sure, if you want to call a collective of good God, okay. But if you want to call a collective of bad the devil, okay.
Yeah.
But just because you call something something doesn't mean that's necessarily true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like human nature is bad. We are bad.
Yeah.
We are.
We are.
You could wake up tomorrow and just have a bad day and just go on a killing spree. But then you'll snap back to regular and be like, oh, the devil tempted me, da 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 da. But you're not taking responsibility for what you did.
And that's the thing. We have to accept. So that's why it's so, in the Bible, it's so important to learn forgiveness. Because as hard as it is, it accepts accountability, and it's like, you know what, they were wrong, but they're human. You know, I'm wrong, but I'm human. That's why you repent and you ask forgiveness. Because like, you could do the worst of the worst, but as long as you go back to God and that's where your heart stands, I believe that's what matters. But wait, hold on. Bob
Okay.
Lazar.
Bob Lazar. Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, no, you're good. I feel like there's something you needed to talk about. No, but it ties in, because so you're saying aliens could potentially be like this demonic force, right? But think about, okay, let's assume what I'm about to say is all true facts, okay?
100%, yeah.
So Roswell, you know Roswell, the crash?
Yeah.
July of 1947, a spacecraft crashed in Roswell, New Mexico. And then a couple years later, in the 1950s, fiber optics are invented.
Mhm.
I feel like, well, I know for a fact the government has retrieved these crashes. There are crash retrieval programs. all, I've read all of the unclassified documents and stuff, but we have technologically advanced so much in the past 100 years versus like if you look from 1900 to the 2000s,
Mm.
so much technological advancement. That's when all these sightings have ramped up, all these crashes have ramped up, these programs have been started, so we've become a better civilization, more technologically speaking. We become a more advanced civilization. I don't feel as if that's evil or malintent or malicious at all. If anything, it's like I'm gonna crash my whip, get what you want from it. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't feel like that's evil at all. I feel like they're little gifts.
The gifts
They're
is crazy.
they are. They're little gifts that they're leaving us to like, hey man, y'all are dumb. Here's some knowledge,
Here's
bro.
some fire
For
tech.
real. Like, but like you gotta admit, like, it's not coincidental at all.
Oh no.
Like there's no way we like from 1500 to 1800, what? Fucking trains? That's cool. From 1900 to 2000, we damn near had flying cars. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah, and I don't believe in coincidences. So I do think it was all purposefully set up. I do think they were working on things underground, and I believe in distractions.
That's, and we talked about that. I
Hmm.
believe we have been drip fed the truth for so long.
Hmm.
But they just need to go ahead and pull that plug. Let us know. Like Tesla, Nikola Tesla. You have you ever heard about the black satellite?
Here and there, but no,
So
no.
it was around. It's been on the internet for a while, but basically it was caught on like the ISS live feed and stuff, and like pictures from satellites that there's this ancient old UFO orbiting in our atmosphere. And Nikola Tesla, you know, Tesla, bro, he claimed to have been in communication with. Now, yes, Tesla did go crazy towards the end of his life. He fell in love with a pigeon.
Oh,
He paid for a hotel room. He paid for a hotel room with a death ray. Believe it or not, he really did do that.
crazy.
But it's funny when he died, the FBI, CIA, all these, three-letter government agencies don't come for me. By the way, they raided his lab. They took all of his notes, all of his stuff,
Hmm.
and they were like, "Give me."
So they pulled a Breaking Bad.
Low key,
So
they did.
they pulled a Gale.
They raided it, and his stuff to this day is still classified.
Ow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And by the way, Thomas Edison was a dick. He was a dick. He truly was. He electrocuted an elephant in public just to show, like, look, electricity. Isn't this cool? Killed an elephant. Fuck you, Thomas Edison. That's how I feel.
That's pretty much.
It's like, but they give him credit for inventing the light bulb.
Yeah.
He didn't. Tesla invented the light bulb. He made it not better, just different, more cost efficient, more able to make a buck off of.
Yeah.
And Tesla's designs and stuff, like Tesla was a genius. I don't know what made him go crazy though.
Maybe it was the.
Maybe that pigeon was bad.
I was about to say maybe the pigeon.
Maybe that pigeon was thick, boy. But I don't. It's sad that brilliant people they make couple false, they make a couple bad mistakes and then they're just labeled crazy. I feel like they just give into it. They're like, okay, I'm crazy. I'm gonna go bang a pigeon. You know what I mean? Like Da Vinci. Da Vinci was he was a pretty out there guy, but he was like drawing up helicopters and like so ahead of his time, and they thought he was wild too. But they say the people that know the truth sound the craziest because no one else will believe them.
100%.
If you see the world for how it truly is and then try to tell everybody, you're batshit. You're nuts. You're loco.
Yeah, because why would they like you?
Exactly, dude. And I feel like that's what's happening with the alien topic. Because back then, if you were like, man, I saw a UFO, you were nuts. I don't want to, my kids cannot go to your house no more.
Yeah.
You were the town nut.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's more socially acceptable. It's more, oh, you saw a UFO? Dude, my cousin saw a UFO too.
For real?
Yeah, it's more socially acceptable to be like, yeah, aliens are real. I wonder why it's been so closed off for so long. And honestly, I feel like we're on the verge of full disclosure. I truly do feel that as if that's coming soon.
Well, what? Okay. Again, this could be its own episode, but I won't go too deep into it. In the Bible, it says in Revelation that demons would go to the elites, the kings, quote unquote, in the end times and lead them into a battle against God. So what if this being more socially acceptable is them slowly but surely introducing the beginning of the end, because that battle, who knows if they are demons or Nephilim in that sense.
Well, if I sat here and said, "Hey, dude, I think aliens are real,"
Mhm.
what at all does that have to do with God? Would you first assumption be like, "Oh, this guy doesn't believe in God"?
No, no.
Well, they talked about Nephilim
Mhm.
in the Book of Enoch,
They
right?
did, yeah.
But that's not in the Bible.
Exactly.
So that coincides exactly with what you're saying. Just because, and you know what, Ezekiel's wheel. It said that Ezekiel looked in the sky and he saw a turning. I don't know the exact.
It's like a turning wheel with eyes all over
Yeah,
it, right?
yeah, and that could have been a UFO.
100%.
And there are lots of like old religious paintings with UFOs in the sky.
Yeah,
I feel like they coincide, man.
exactly. But that's my point, though. So what if this was all known about prior, but they were waiting to release it? Because once they're all released, they could start going anti-God mode, being like, well, your Bible doesn't talk about this. I thought humans were the only creations. I thought this and that. And then putting that into the perspective
But
of it.
anywhere in the, and this is a genuine question, does
Yeah.
it anywhere in the Bible say God just made the humans and dipped?
It says that we're the best creation, and that's mentioned. I know it mentions Nephilim, demons, and also the devil's best thing is that he doesn't exist at all. That's what he wants everybody to believe. So if they could prove against God,
Wait, so the devil's wants us to not believe in him or not
yes,
believe in God?
not believe in both. So if they could prove, so I guarantee you, with the confirmation of aliens would come questioning God. I mean, anybody would, because it'd be like, okay, so wait, there's extra.
I'd more so question the government before I'd question God. I'd be like, yo, why have you been lying to us this whole time? I wouldn't be like, yo, God, why didn't you write about this? I mean, like, that's just my train of thought. My first thing would be like, wow, we've been lied to by the government forever.
Yeah, but they will use that against God, though.
I don't see how. I really don't see how. If you're like, yeah, okay, so aliens exist, so that means God doesn't exist. It's like, no. Just like the guy I mentioned before, he's like, your God's too small. He is. Think about it. I look at it like if we discovered that there's a civilization on Mars and you subscribe to, Christianity and God and the creator of all, you're like, wow, dude, God's on some next level shit.
Yeah.
He did something that I didn't even know about, and it's fire. It's awesome. My God is sick. Look at what he did.
Yeah, but how do you explain them defying gravity and defying portals in that?
That's just physics, man.
But
Physics. And God doesn't abide by physics.
no, he
I
doesn't.
mean, Jesus turned water into wine.
Yeah.
Do that right now.
Yeah, no, I
You
can't.
can't because Jesus was on some other shit.
Exactly, but what gives these aliens power? Like, what gives them the ability to go in and out?
Honestly, my personal opinion, I think it's the mind. I think they're more advanced in their brain. Just like we talked about, like the pineal gland, and Jesus had his third eye.
Yes.
What if they're on the same type of wave? Not necessarily like the Jesus. I'm not saying Jesus is an alien, but I'm saying like, what if it's a similar concept? Like Jesus was on some open-minded. He was like on some divine nature type of vibe. And what if there's a civilization out there that cracked that code and is like, I don't have human desire. I don't have I don't have the need, the anger, the hate, the lust. I don't have that. I'm just an intellectual being.
Yeah.
What if?
Yeah, and absolutely, what if? A lot of people don't even believe God, period, because they're like, oh, well, there's so much proof otherwise. There's so much this otherwise.
But there's really no proof that God exists or don't exist. It's personal interpretation. Because you can't 100% know anything about this kind of stuff. I mean, if anyone sit here, that's why I think I've struggled with religion so long, is because people would come and be like, I know God exists. I feel him. Okay, have you seen him? Well, no. Okay, have you heard him? Well, in my head, but have you touched him? No, but he's touched me. It's like, he didn't though. You interpreted it as that. You have never physically saw God. You have never sat at the table and was like, hey, can you pass the ranch? And God was like, sure, here you go.
Yeah, but all right.
But same thing with the not existing.
Yep.
You cannot. No one can be like, no, God don't exist, and I know that. I have proof. What's the proof?
Yeah.
Look up. Do you see God? No. But same thing with love. You can't see love. You can feel it.
Exactly.
But your love is not my love, and vice versa. So it's all about how you interpret stuff.
Yeah.
That's why I've struggled for so long, is because people will come up to you and say they know, but they truly don't.
Yeah, but you have 100% faith in aliens, right? You believe.
I don't have 100% faith. I'm just very interested, and you know, I'm a very it's I go back and forth because I try not to be, if I see it I can believe it no more, because I am getting closer with God and I am developing my relationship, and it's from a feeling. But with the alien stuff, it's like there's so much, man, I can read and like look at the videos and the pictures and the congressional hearings, and like there's obviously something there. But I'm the same way with God. I mean, look at how the universe is designed. Look at where our positioning in the solar system. I mean, if we were an inch closer to the sun, we couldn't live. If we were an inch further, we freeze. Like,
same thing with
it's
gravity.
obvious that we're made in a genius design and a beautiful design, and the universe is beautiful. As massive as it is and ever expanding as it is, it's beautiful. There's so much beyond this world, and I feel like people, when they think about God, they only think about like the animals, people, the trees. But look at the cosmos. God is already bigger than you think he is. You just have to open your mind a little bit more.
It says the world is like a stepping stone for him.
Exactly.
Because
man.
he's everything.
The universe is infinite. It is expanding right now as we're talking. God made that.
Yeah.
It's big. It's beautiful. We can't even conceptualize how big the universe that our Earth is in right now. And we're so small-minded. We're small-minded creations, man. So it's like, it's hard for us to accept that there might be something better than us. And maybe that's what aliens are. Maybe they're a better version of us. Maybe they are on some next level shit. That's just my interpretation. And that's just a maybe. That's not even like me sitting here telling you that's what it is.
Yeah. But I do think if you did that kind of research on God, you would find so much more. Because as you briefly mentioned, the pineal gland, third eye, stuff that they have taken out of the Bible, the things that they don't want you to know biblically, and what.
Yeah, they took out the Book of Enoch because it was too controversial, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And same with so many other books of the Bible. Now, not all of them are credible. Not all of them are something you should look into, because there's stuff in there that is not it's not good, but nothing that somebody who is struggling in faith should read, because again, some things are just put in there just to say they're in there.
Yeah, I feel like you should get like a strong basis and be like, in my heart, I feel as if God made me and he wants me to do good, and then delve into that world.
100%.
But you have to have a solid foundation to fall back on, because a lot of that shit will make you like
question,
paranoid.
Yes,
bro.
It will. And I've been down there. I've been down that rabbit hole, and it's more of like, like one actually really good theory that honestly I am not 100% against. So now we know that God is light, God is good, God gives life.
But right? God also takes life, does he not?
Well, I mean, it's just humans. You can't really blame.
Yeah, but okay, if God, maybe if God is truly all, then God is all, and what is involved in all, good, yes, evil as well.
Sure.
You know what I mean? God made us to die, and God gave us the knowledge of death.
But no, he did not make us to die. He made us to live, and
then die.
No, we live
but we
with
die.
him, but our bodies die, but our souls don't.
But why is it? Why do we know? I know you're gonna say Garden of Eden, Eve ate that apple and screwed us all up. But it's like, if God didn't want us to know we would die, we wouldn't know.
But
he wouldn't do something. And this is just my opinion. He wouldn't be like, everything you've ever wanted to know is in this apple right now. Don't bite it. Bye. He wouldn't do that.
No, yeah.
Because God's not a high school teacher. You know what I mean? With a camera watching and waiting for you to mess up so it can be like, aha, caught you. Detention. You know what I mean? I don't think he's on that type of wave.
No, absolutely. But I think that he gives us a chance to live, because we are not our bodies.
Okay.
We're here as vessels. We're here just like Jesus.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So by us, if we give into the apple like Eve did, now I'm not saying that like your argument you were mentioning, but if we give into human desire, we give into temptation, we give into sin, and we go down that rabbit hole, we will die. And that's the point.
Okay, well, would you agree knowledge is power?
Yes.
And knowledge is good to have.
100%.
So why was Eve punished for getting knowledge?
Well, that's a different topic.
But knowledge is power.
Well, it was the knowledge of good and evil. So we were just meant to just be like little fairies and like float away and have like a little, like a vibe town.
Yeah.
And then
Naked in the forest type.
yeah, and
Okay.
then Satan was like, yo.
But Satan, and you taught me this, Satan was under direct orders from God to do that.
No.
Yeah.
Well, no.
How did he get in the garden?
Because he was allowed there too. He was an angel.
And does God not see all?
He does.
So he allowed Satan to tempt?
Well, okay, actually, I have a really good comeback for that.
Okay, go ahead.
So Judas, right?
Judas.
He knew he was going to betray Jesus.
I brought you frankincense.
Bro.
Okay.
I know you did.
He knew, okay.
Yeah, so he knew Judas was going to betray him.
Yeah.
But that needed to happen. So because, we were not meant to have the knowledge and be able and to bite the apple and to know. But God already knew, and he's like, all right, you know what? It's going to happen. But I know what's going to happen in the end, and I know I win, and I know I take my children home with me. I know I'm going to send my son and be able to save all of humanity who wants it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of like he knows, but he allows. Because we have free will, and we have the ability to go to him and to do what we want with our lives. Because that's what it was given.
But would you not think that, let's say you started a company
mm-hmm.
and you hired employees and you wanted something done specifically.
Yeah.
And your employees were like swaying off of it. And it's very crucial that you get this done this way because that's the way you want it.
Absolutely.
What are you going to do to those employees? Are you going to correct them or just let them keep fucking up?
Oh, he corrected them. He was in that garden being like...
No. No. Now,
yeah,
like if I sat here and did something so fucking out of pocket and so against God, I wouldn't. But I'm just saying, God would not come down and be like, no, bad, stop that. Why wouldn't he do that? If I did something that's so like spit in the face, bad, like he would never forgive me for that. He would never accept that. That's bad boy, bad boy, bad boy. Why wouldn't he come and correct me?
Well, because we have free will.
Do we really though?
Yeah, we do.
Do you believe that God knows all of our stories?
Yeah.
Then,
but I
do you believe they're already written?
Yes, but I also believe that everything happens for a reason. I believe that.
So then that's not free will.
That is free will though,
Mm-mm.
because we could choose. I choose with my arm like that.
Okay, I'll give you free will, but it's limited free will. If I tell you you can either have a bologna sandwich or a pepperoni sandwich, you're free. You have the free will to choose either one, but in that limited capacity.
Exactly.
True free will would be like, hey, do you want a bologna sandwich or do you want a pepperoni sandwich? And then you'd go, I want potato salad. That's true free will.
Yeah.
To go out of the picture, step out of the frame.
We have human boundaries.
How so?
I mean, I can't leave my body and go bananas.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that has nothing to do with. I mean, I guess it has something to do with it.
So,
but
we have human. So he will bring somebody or something into your life, and you'll be like, "Do what you do with this," and then what is your thing gonna be?
But why is it gotta be so cryptic, man? Why do I'm not a. I don't like because then I'd be coming off paranoid. I'd be like, you said have a nice day. What did you really mean by that, though?
But
are you really wanting me to have a nice day, or you know what I mean?
But if you were sitting here with God right now, would you have any questions?
Absolutely.
No. I mean, like, would you be like, you're not real?
No, but I'm seeing him and face to face. I'm talking to him.
But how would life span out, and how would you know what kind of person you truly are?
It doesn't matter. I'm telling you right now, if Jesus Christ himself knocked on the door and was like, here I am, my son.
Yeah.
I'm living my life solely for that right there.
But
it doesn't matter. I'd be happy doing it too because my life now has purpose, a direct, confirmed, acknowledged purpose. Jesus Christ stepped on my doorstep and was like, sup. My life is now dedicated to him solely, and I'd be happy about it.
But if every person had that, then we would not necessarily have free will. Dare I say? Because if every person knew of God's existence and we all knew and was like, yeah, I met Jesus the other day, yo, and he was fire, you could not truly say you have free will if you don't have the free will to choose. Because if he's going to meet every single person who's not willing, so like if he went,
but that's the thing. There's no such if you cannot deny a fact. 2 + 2 is 4. That is undeniable. That is a fact. If Jesus Christ stood in Madison Square Garden on live television and did some miracles and floated and like, here I am.
But what's the point of faith?
You can't deny that.
But what's the point of faith then?
That's why I don't think God cares if we have faith or not.
Oh no, I believe the opposite. I think that whole point is to have a relationship.
Do you think you have to go to church?
No.
There you go.
But I have the faith. I still read my Bible. I still stay consistent in praying, and I still do that because there's people who don't have the ability to get to church, and there's people
Sure.
who are not
But
accessible.
I think we talked about it on the last episode, but okay, so like someone lives their whole life,
Yeah.
doesn't believe in God,
Mhm.
just doesn't bash them, but they don't believe in God, but they still live a good life.
Yeah.
Are they going to heaven?
I don't believe they're gonna go to hell.
Where else would they go?
Heaven. But
Exactly.
but
So,
again,
but
I'm
that
not
that
God.
just goes to show you that I feel like there are certain situations where God doesn't care about that stuff because that's a human emotion.
Yeah, but that's between God and the person, so I can't say I know. You know.
Oh yeah.
So it's more of like I could have an opinion, but I won't know if I'm right. So like I always say, like you are saved, you're going to heaven, you're gonna do this, and as you always call me out, so why don't you have the faith that you're going to heaven?
Yeah.
So I'm aware, and I know I'm a hypocrite for that because I believe I'm going to heaven, but I don't feel like I'm worthy enough because I never will feel worthy enough.
Right.
So that comes to show like a lot of human emotion gets in the way of faith sometimes, and I have 100% faith. I do not have any doubt that God is real personally.
Yeah.
And I am open to the possibilities of like, I don't think he cares about sin. I don't. I think it's just if you have a personal relationship with him, he knows your intentions. He knows that you try. I don't think you have an issue. I don't think you'll be sent to hell. I don't think that you are a bad person in any sense of the way.
So why is there so much pressure to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior?
There isn't.
But there is in that world there is. Like there are pastors that will be like, "Have you been baptized? You're going to hell."
But that's not God. That's
why would God allow people to bear false witness?
Why does he allow people to murder? Why does he allow people to do things that they should not be doing?
I don't think he allows it. I think it's like this, man. If God has the power to do good, he also has the power to do bad.
And how about this? How about the testimony? So like, for example, somebody's terrible. They're not terrible like that, but they're doing drugs their whole life. They're just not on a good path their entire
That
life.
booger sugar? Ooh,
So they're on a terrible path their entire
right.
dude.
My bad, dude. My bad.
So their entire life, they have a really bad set of cards, hand of
Right.
cards. They're just bad.
Right.
They get turned off by religion because people are pressuring them. They're like, man, I don't care about it. Like, just leave me alone. Leave me out of it. God does come to people. And what happens if he gets that one encounter that changes his life? Because that's what happened to me. So what happens if they have that one encounter that changes their life? Their entire perspective's changed.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Exactly.
It truly is. But have some of these stories that I've heard from people are, me personally, and I feel like when God does eventually, if he does come to me, it'll be some shit I can understand.
Yeah,
but some of these stories, man, I don't see how you got God from that. I think you were just like in religious psychosis for real. Because I'll tell you this one story, and I'm not gonna say no names, but this guy, he was talking to me and he was like, man, I was just having a horrible day, and I'm not gonna get into detail, but he was having a bad time, you know what I mean? And he was gonna do some bad stuff, and he started thinking of his childhood dog, and it was like a little Yorkie type of dog, and then he stepped outside to, I guess catch his breath or whatever, and he saw a little Yorkie, and it was like, in his mind, he said, in that moment, I felt as if God was talking to me and telling me to, that to relax and trust in him. And I was like, man, that's beautiful, but I think a dog just got out and like wandered into you. I didn't say that, of course, because like I let bro talk, because you could tell there's some emotion behind that, and like whatever's real to you, man, just go with it. I won't judge people for that, but in my mind, I'm like, man, if I would have saw that dog, it'd have been like, stupid dog. I wouldn't have carried it as far as he did, but it is a beautiful thing, and I see that. But I just some of these stories are like, that's a bit of a stretch, brother. That's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think it just, like, if you ask for a sign, right?
Right.
Say I want to see a blue bee, and like not a physical bee, but I just want to see like a little logo of blue bee, right?
Okay.
You're waiting. This blue bee is not coming out on a bad day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, God, send me the blue bee. A little while comes along. You see a blue bee, bro. You're like, God's with me. 100%. I know it. And that's how you take it,
But
so
I thought you're not supposed to ask God for specific things. And then with that, you're like, God, send me a sign. And then the whole time you're waiting on it, and I feel like that's why a lot of these people have these stories, is because they ask God for a sign, and they'll take the first thing that happens, like, oh my God, Thank you.
But it depends on how you take it. So like
My chocolate milk's only spilled halfway on the carpet. That's a sign.
yeah, but it really just depends on how you perceive things. So like people take things so differently
Yeah.
that one thing could just lighten up their day.
But that's the problem with you know, thinking that you have to have faith. I mean, I personally I have faith, but for my own reasons.
Yeah.
I've come around to this. But honestly, if I'd have just corrected myself and I would have been like, I'm gonna leave religion alone. It's beyond me. I don't care for it. Blah 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 blah. You know, I feel like I would have went to heaven still because I don't think he puts that much stock into it, bro. It's just really about like your personal journey. And if like you want to lean on God, maybe he will pop in every now and then and be like, here's a $1,000, like good shit, bro. Appreciate you. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't know. I feel like people that don't want to lean on God, I mean, like, I don't feel like he's gonna be like, word, word, cancer.
Oh my gosh,
Like,
dude.
I don't think he's gonna be like, because he's not spiteful.
Yeah.
My God is not spiteful.
But-
he's not angry. He's
yeah.
not bitter. That's human emotion.
But there you go. It's your God.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people tend to not. They're like, well, my God wouldn't do that. Yeah, you're right. Because everybody's God is different.
Yeah.
He has a different relationship with every single person. So he might give somebody else $1,000 and I'm over here on the street being like, yo, where? You know?
Yeah.
So it just depends on your personal relationship and it depends on your time and when you're meant to get things. So like you could be struggling in faith. Like I've been struggling. Not like with faith, but just like struggling just generally.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Well,
God, where are you?
life do be lifing, bro.
It do be lifing.
Life be lifing.
So like you have to look at it like I know God's with me and I know it's just a tough season right now.
But that's more of like a mindset than
Exactly.
anything.
Yeah. But you have to have that mindset because if you focus on bad, you're only gonna see bad. And that's the problem with today's world. If you were consistently being like, oh, my lunchbox is not blue. You know, you're that's gonna ruin your day. But
Well,
it's like,
yeah, you attract what you give.
exactly, and I believe that. That's why I don't believe in coincidence.
And that's why I don't believe in the devil. Because if I wake up and I'm having a bad day and I'm like, the world sucks, people suck, everything sucks, and I go to work, I'm gonna attract that negativity because I'm
100%.
already spreading it. But that
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, the devil saw I was mad today. No, that just means that there's negative energy in the world, and I just attracted it by only seeing negativity.
But do you not believe in the devil, or do you not believe in the world's viewpoint of the devil?
I'm gonna say neither. Really, I don't believe in. I definitely don't believe in the world's like. I don't believe like Satan is down there in hell right now with a pitchfork and like hoved foot, or was it cloved feet or something like that? Hoved feet, whatever. And I definitely don't believe that Satan is an actual being. I feel like it's a scapegoat. It's a blanket for negativity.
Well, how do you believe in good and not bad?
I don't believe in either. I believe it's all perspective.
But you believe in God.
I do believe in the creator, yeah.
So, okay, what do you think happens if you don't believe, like, if somebody's a really bad person, right? Not even like a good person, just really bad person. Do you not believe that you think they just go to heaven?
No, I feel like you don't get rewarded for being the cunt. You know? I don't feel like you get rewarded for that, but I don't feel like you get punished either. I feel like, and I struggle with the concept of heaven. Mm-hmm. I do. I don't, as of right now, I couldn't tell you either way. Like if where we go, I do believe we go elsewhere. Mm-hmm. But maybe it's just a different plane of existence, you know? Maybe it's the energy in our bodies are transported somewhere, not necessarily heaven or hell or purgatory or wherever. It's just elsewhere. But again, I don't know, because here lately I've been thinking about heaven and like, man, I really do hope. Like I want that for, you know, with the day I take my last breath, I want to feel confident that I'm going somewhere good and I'm going to see my, you know, my grandpa, and I'm going to see all the people I've lost and just reconnect and rejoice in that love and that light. And that's something I would love, but I got to get there to put stock in that. But as of right now, I couldn't tell you. But I don't believe in hell. I don't believe in eternal punishment. That's just, I don't think that God would make us to be punished. I don't think I'll ever subscribe to that.
I understand. And I get that. But That's where I get confused with like your viewpoint. So like you believe the Bible, you believe in God, you believe in Jesus.
I don't believe the Bible like that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me preface this. The Bible is a good book. It is a positive. It's a positive thing, and I respect it. I don't put stock in it like you do.
I understand.
We've argued about the moon landing. Okay, you believe in the firmament. You believe in the God split the two seas, and
Yeah.
that the moon is what is like an angel.
So it would be it's in heaven. So we have layers of heaven, and I believe
Right.
it's in like the last layer as it mentions.
Right. I don't believe that at all.
Yeah.
I Noah's Ark.
Mm-hmm.
There was a great flood,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, they've written religions all over the world, older than Christianity, younger than Christian, whatever the case is. There are tales of a great flood
Absolutely.
everywhere. So it's like, yeah, sure. Bro did not have kangaroos on that boat.
Bro,
I don't, because kangaroos are
landlocked.
they're landlocked in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
How did bro get them on the boat? Did he have another boat to go to Australia?
Bro, probably.
You say he had 100 years.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, did he build two boats? One to like collect the animals and one to like keep them? Like,
who knows?
but that's the thing. Like, you think the what's it called? The proof is in the pudding. Like, put us on game, dude.
All right. So what happens if kangaroos just simply did not exist yet?
But they did.
Like,
We know because of evolutionary timelines. We can tell.
Yeah, and a chicken was a dinosaur too.
What chicken is an ancestor from a T-Rex? Yes.
Yeah. So things happen in over 4,000 years, you know?
And I feel like the term alien is a blanket statement as well, because I'm not saying Jesus is an alien, but
disclaimer.
Disclaimer. But technically, define alien. What does alien mean? It means
extraterrestrial,
not of this place. So if and you believe this, that Jesus is God, okay? Technically, Jesus is alien to us because he comes from elsewhere.
Yeah.
So these aliens, and I'm quoting my fingers, guys. I know you can't see that, but I'm quoting my fingers. I hope you feel it in my voice. These alien beings are, maybe they're not like these monsters, these little tentacled, little creepy-eyed fucks. Maybe they're just a different version of us.
Yeah.
You know?
And I agree with that. But that's why I believe in Nephilim.
The what?
Nephilim.
The Nephilim?
I do. Because, I mean, we don't know.
But that's not canonically connected to the Bible.
It is, though.
But it's not in the official Bible. It's not in the, it's like a separate, it's like, milkshakes, right? You can get it with whipped cream or not. Mm-hmm. But a milkshake is not whipped cream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
The Bible is the milkshake. The Book of Enoch is the whipped cream. Well,
if I'm not mistaken, I do believe Nephilim is in the Bible. It don't go into detail like it does in Enoch, but It is biblical. So that part is in it. I don't believe, like I said, it does not go into detail like it does, but it does mention it. Oh, no.
Wait. Hold on. So, do you think we went to the moon? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Now I'm finna no. I gotta ask you this. I got to ask you this. Do you think the earth is flat?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Why? I know in the Bible it says like the edge of the world.
In the four corners, yeah.
But I feel like that's more of like metaphorical than literal.
It can be. And that's why I'm not saying I don't know. I truly, I'm not a flat earther, guys. Don't think it that way. But
she begged me not to bring this up.
I did. So I don't fully know if what it is, because like we will truly never know.
So explain to me the firmament, because when I'm talking about like aliens and like extraterrestrials and like space, you're like very about it because you believe in like the firmament, the splitting of the two seas. What is that to you? Like, what is that?
So, I don't believe that,
because you do know about like Voyager 1, Voyager 2, the satellites that we sent into space in like the late 70s, early 80s. Yeah. And they took pictures of like the Earth. I believe it's Voyager 2 that escaped our solar system, and it's like It's still sending us pictures and stuff, but it's like you can't really see in space like that for real.
Yeah. So I'm kind of, if I'm not knowledge on something, if I'm not highly knowledge, I don't talk about it because I don't want to sound like I know everything and
Right.
I don't want to sound uneducated.
Right.
So I'm more of, so you can't really prove. I believe space. I believe Earth. I believe in other planets. I believe in our solar system. I believe in all of that stuff.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know how far we truly can go out.
What? So you believe in the firmament?
I do. I
But
believe that we're kind of in like
so
a
what
dome.
is the? So what about the other planets?
I believe they're real.
But they'd be in the sea in that firmament, right? Because God
Yeah.
split the two seas above the earth, below in the Bible. It says, right?
I don't believe it's exactly mentioned like that. I know we put the waters were, I need my Bible on standby. So don't quote me, but I believe we are in the middle of two seas, yes. But actually
So those planets would be in the sea above us.
they would. And also another thing, every time a UFO has been sighted, it's gone into the sea.
Not every time.
Not every time.
No.
Again,
don't worry.
Sure.
I'll fact check you right now.
Okay, fact check me. But I do think a lot of the times it also says in the Bible the unknown is in the water. Now, why have we not explained the whole seen the whole sea?
That is actually true. We have mapped more of the moon's surface than we have of the ocean.
Exactly.
But
so why?
That's because of the pressures of, because you heard of that, the submarine that imploded?
Yeah.
That pressure, dude, that's real.
100%. But if we could make AI, if we could make all of these things, why can we not?
Because it doesn't risk human life. It doesn't risk millions and billions of dollars. Space exploration is expensive.
Yeah.
I feel like that's why we haven't been back to the moon in so long, because it's so expensive.
We have trillionaires, bro.
Yeah, but their money's not liquid. Like you can be a trillionaire, but you don't got a trillion sitting in the bank. You know what I'm saying? It's tied up in like stocks and bonds, and it's not liquid assets.
No, and I get that 100%. But I just think that also, why does the Earth only go up and down 6 miles, 6 to 8 miles? What is that? Why does it not go more than that? Because Mariana's Trench, you've heard of that.
Yeah.
It only goes down 6 miles.
Yeah.
The planes go only up to 8 miles is the absolute limit. What is limitation when it comes to that?
Well, you got to think you're fighting gravity. You're fighting gravity. You're in a plane the whole time. That plane is fighting to stay up because it's constantly getting pulled down.
Yeah.
So if you go up enough, number one, you can't really breathe that well. That's why, like, when they host sporting events in like Colorado and like I think Utah too, they have oxygen masks because they're in higher elevation. I feel like if you fly your plane a little too high, everyone's gonna be like, ugh! You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. It's not even just like the plane. It's just why does it only go down 6 miles?
I don't know.
And that's why I kind of believe in the firmament, because like if we can only go up and down so much, what is around?
But the firmament wouldn't be just straight up and down. It'd be left and right.
Yeah,
It encapsulates us.
Yeah, but that's where I'm not gonna get into that.
No, get into it.
No.
Get into it, man.
No. Now, I'm not saying the Earth is flat.
It sounds like you're saying the Earth is flat.
I'm just saying we cannot really prove it. Like, we can look at pictures, sure. But
you can't prove what? That the Earth is not
round
flat?
or flat. We can't really prove it regardless. We don't really have in-depth evidence.
So the satellite pictures of the Earth, you think they're fake?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of it. I don't know. It's more of just can't prove it with or without. Same thing with aliens. Same thing with I won't say God, but for some people God. For some people God.
Well, I mean, yeah, definitely. God is in that conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, we're established with like God is real, but you're established in a different way than I am.
Yeah.
But we can agree that we were made by a creator. That we can agree on.
Yeah.
Everything else is just it's extra credit.
Exactly.
It's semantics. I feel like that's where the hang up is people argue semantics. They don't argue like that they truly believe in something greater than themselves. No, they argue like, nah, God has like 6 wings, bro. No, God has like 3 max. Like they argue semantics. Arguing, but they believe in the same thing. It just looks different. Same thing with like Christian, Muslim, Jewish all that, you believe in the same God. You're just telling a different version of the story.
Exactly, and I agree with that.
You believe in the same God.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah, I think there's only one creator, and it's just more of like whichever version you follow is what describes of how you live your life.
Okay, so let we got way
Yeah.
into the Bible. I'm gonna go back to Bob Lazar, right? When I was telling you about Element 115,
Mhm.
right? And how he was describing it to be in the craft. How do you think that came to be true? Do you think he was lying? Do you think that, and why would that be considered demonic? If it came from an alien
Mhm.
and it helped us, why would that be considered demonic? And do you think that he was telling the truth? Do you think he's lying?
I don't think he's lying. I don't think that he's like a liar. I think that he's very, as you noted him, credible.
Very credible.
But
Bob Lazar, I love you. I'm just saying that.
But at the same time, though, I don't think it'd be demonic. I do believe they're demons, but I don't think it's necessarily demonic. I think that like just like humans, we're inherently evil.
Yes.
All of us, but we can still turn to God. So I think by even saying aliens can be saved, sure, but
do they need to be saved?
Hmm?
Do you think they need to be saved?
I think everybody needs to be saved.
What?
I think everybody gets saved.
How does one get saved?
Believing Jesus. I know.
It's a beautiful concept, it is, but I don't feel like there's necessarily one truth. I feel like it's whatever works for you. Because I've heard this for so long, since I was a child. Perception is reality.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you think, that's what it is. As long as you're concrete in that thought.
Are you a rock?
Like a rock.
No, are you a rock?
Am I a rock?
Yeah.
If
you believe,
I'm more of like a boulder.
Oh, okay, okay. But
yeah.
So like, if you believed you were a table, would you become a table?
If I truly believed I was a table, truly believed I was a table, I'd be a table.
Trying to be so for real.
I am.
Would you merge into metal and glass?
No, I wouldn't. But in my mind, if you're taught since you were a kid, your mom didn't tell you that you were white. She told you were purple. And she told you that, and you believed that because that's the only thing you were taught.
Yeah.
And then you go out in public, and you're like, I'm purple. You guys are purple too. They're like, no, bro. No, we're not. But that's your belief, and you're so concrete in it. You're not wrong. You're just right in your own way.
Yeah, so that's how you feel every day since you're so colorblind. But anyway.
I am colorblind, actually. I've learned recently that I struggle to see greens and reds.
Yes.
And it's a disability. It's a disability that I constantly get made fun of for it by by everybody. Honestly, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm truly sick of it.
By everybody.
Guys, this is my last episode. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. But I mean, shoot, yeah, we got into it today, huh?
Yes.
We sure did. Heck yeah, dude. I enjoy this so much. This is so fun for me. Guys, let us know if you want us to talk about anything specific, or because I mean, we write down ideas and stuff and we run it by each other, but sometimes we just get on here and we just yap, and I enjoy it.
Me too.
So yeah.
Yeah, please, if you have any suggestions, things you want to hear us talk about, we could both like look up on it, and for sure we're open to suggestions 100%. I see that now we have 11 followers or whatever, so if you want to press subscribe and add yourself, and please comment, tell us whose opinion you believe in more, and what do you think, who's on the right track. Obviously me, but whatever. Anyways.
And that's the whole point of this, is just obviously you can tell we both have very different viewpoints. It's like complete polar opposite ends, but it's the beauty of the conversation of discussing that in a safe and respectful manner. I feel like that's what true dialogue is. It's, yes, I don't agree with your opinion, but I want you to talk about it so I can understand it more.
Yeah, because this is not supposed to be arguing. We're not supposed to be going back and forth and be like, no, you're wrong. Because what gets solved in that? Nothing. So by us having different opinions, it could also open minds of other people to see like, hey, actually, I agree with this. Oh, no, actually, I agree with that. And I think anything could be solved in a true conversation. And I think conversating about God, aliens, anything in the gray, I think that's really good to talk about. And I think it's very important to be open about these topics, because these days everybody is just so in their own head. It's just so nice to be open and be able to talk about the gray areas.
Yes. And with all that being said, guys, I want you to have one takeaway from today's episode. The truth isn't always black and white.
Sometimes
It's
it's found
found
in
in
the
the
gray.
gray. Guys, we love doing this. Let us know what else we should talk about. We'll catch y'all in the next one.
See ya.